Welcome to the Empowered Empath. I'm your host, Kerith. Before we begin, I want to start the way I always will, which is with intention. Take a breath with me. Our affirmation today is, I am safe to be seen, heard, and felt exactly as I am. My intention for today's episode is connection, not perfection, not performance, just truth. Today's episode is going to be a little different than our normal content, as I really want to do more of a get to know your host. If we are going to be spending time together, I feel it's really important that we build connection because that matters here. And I will say it over and over again. I really want you to get to know me, the human behind the voice. Really, honestly, who I am now. If you were to ask me today how I describe myself, I would describe myself as an empath, someone who is highly sensitive and intuitive. I use those terms interchangeably because they really describe the different layers of how I experience the world. But getting comfortable with saying that out loud has taken me a very long time. For most of my life, I didn't feel safe about being honest about who I was, the things I could see, hear, or even feel. I learned how to hide who I was. I learned how to blend in, how to be normal, and really how to function in a world that was not built for sensitive nervous systems like myself. As far back as I can remember as a child, I always knew I was different. And that knowing followed me through elementary school, high school, adulthood, and even into the corporate world. I have spent years believing that there was something wrong with me. If that thought feels familiar to you, you're not alone. What really broke me open was when I was 18. My dad passed away. He was 48. And at 18, you have no life experience. You're just trying to figure out who you are. And honestly, losing a parent that young changes how you see the world. Grief cracked me wide open. After my dad passed, my intuitive experiences intensified. I saw my dad 3 times in full physical form. I began seeing spirit in full physical form and started hearing and feeling things. I don't share all of the details publicly, but I will say this. It was profound. It was fucking confusing, and it was deeply personal. I was grieving, I was trying to survive, and I was searching for something solid to hold on to. And that's when I threw myself into therapy. I love therapy. Therapy was the foundation, not the ending of my healing. It gave me language for my grief. It helped me process trauma, loss, and especially the collapse of my family dynamic. It was an incredibly important part of my healing journey. But at the same time, through that, I realized I was still searching for something. I had done a lot of work, but something was still missing. Not unhealed. I wasn't unhealed, but unexplored. That curiosity led me into the spiritual and energetic healing. Not because I was broken, but because I wanted to feel wholeness and complete. I began exploring things like inner child work, shadow work, frequency healing, and eventually it led me to Reiki. Reiki came into my life first as me as a client, and through several of my sessions, something shifted. It felt like there was a missing piece that finally had come home. I chose to certify as a Reiki practitioner. And when I did that, my life experiences and everything that I had been through started to actually make sense for me. Not dramatically, but became really clear in focus. It was like puzzle pieces were finally forming the big picture that I had been missing. Part of it is also grounding, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my non-negotiables. Grounding is a non-negotiable for me. Movement is a non-negotiable as it helps me regulate my nervous system, and meditation follows after exercise, always. Breath work is something that I use when I begin to feel anxious, and that shows up in real time, especially when I'm out and about. And Reiki, I do perform on myself at night to clear energy that is not mine. I don't want to carry it. I also use visualization. It helps me move through the world feeling protected, present, and really aware. But these practices don't make me spiritual. They actually make me really stable. And honestly, they create a safety in my body that I hadn't felt in a very long time. But the moment that changed everything for me was once I had that safety. I finally was ready to feel, see, and hear something new. Another tool that I have in my toolbox that you may not be familiar with is NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. For most of my life, I lived with this relentless negative self-speak. It was this voice that was always there, always offering an opinion, and it was never a nice one. Funny thing is I actually thought that was normal. I thought everybody had this voice. So some time ago, I told my aunt that I was feeling really pulled to go to Bali. Had never been, hadn't even explored it. She said to me, "What's in Bali?" And honestly, I had no idea. I didn't know. I just knew that I was supposed to go there. And then one day, as we all do, I'm doom scrolling on social media, and this beautiful human being showed up on my screen talking about her women's retreat that she was hosting in Bali. And with every part of my being, my body said, "That's it. That's where you're supposed to be." So I scheduled a discovery call, and before I could overthink it, because I am an overthinker, I was on a plane to Bali. It was during that retreat I was introduced to NLP. NLP is a really powerful tool to help rewire patterns like anxiety, communication, confidence, habits, and self-beliefs. But before you can get to that point of rewiring, you have to work through and get honest and vulnerable with yourself about all of the things to really get to the root. So that week required a level of vulnerability that felt really scary to get to. And it wasn't me, it was all of us. We had to get to the root before we could rebuild anything. So on the final day of the retreat, we had sat down to enter into a meditative state. It was a meditative state that was deeper than anything I'd ever experienced. And what happens is the hypnotherapist began using the positive affirmation words that we had shared earlier in the week, which was going to help rewire the negative self-speak. And when I came out of that meditation, I was floored. It was quiet. My mind, for the first time in decades, was quiet. It was almost eerie how quiet it was. But I could hear my own voice. I could hear my own thoughts. That voice that had been with me for 40 years was gone. And it's now been 2 years, and that voice is still gone. I'm building things I once believed were impossible, including this podcast. I've built a business for coaching and Reiki. I'm including NLP services. But all of these modalities that have led me to this point, therapy, Reiki, meditation, breath work, NLP, they didn't just heal me. They made this possible. Without them, I wouldn't be here. And the Empowered Empath podcast would not exist. I want to make it really clear that this podcast isn't about fixing you, because you're not broken. It's about understanding empathy. It's learning how to protect your energy. It's about building boundaries and learning how to navigate a world without abandoning yourself. This community is rooted in love and compassion and empathy. And I will always protect that fiercely for my community. So if you're here, you belong here. And I thank you for listening. I thank you for being here and really allowing me to share my story with you. Until next time, protect your peace, honor your light, and walk the world empowered. Thank you.